episode. We have a theme show, don't we? Yeah. Intro. Yeah, there we go.
It's time for Two Wild and Crazy Dads with your hosts, the Maestro and the Bronco. It's the show that talks about the important stuff in life. Let's start the show.
Thank you. What's up? Welcome to Two Wild and Crazy Dads. Tonight we're going to be talking about
superheroes
and origin stories. So, I guess while I pull up my questions here, we can talk about our origin story. Knock that out real quick. So yeah, I had this personality on X where I was making the music videos basically like what's on this channel right here, and I was doing them a little different, like dedications, to people, whatever. And might help if I put my mic. And doing the dedication thing, I reached out to him. He gave me a song. I did it, whatever. He thought it was cool, right? And wanted it.
It's like I kept seeing it pop up on my feed, and I'm like, yeah, this shit's cool. And then he reached out to me, and I picked Hootie and the Blowfish. And then I saw you do, I never can remember what Fleetwood Mac song it was, but you did a video
Dreams?
with Dreams. I'm like, this
with all
shit's
the
cool.
girls. Oh no, if it was the one with all the women, it was with all the ladies. It was Gold Dust Woman.
Yeah.
Because I had them, they were all the Gold Dust Woman. Either way, yeah, I thought it was you made like a comment on the post. You're like, this is cool, whatever. I was like, you want to feel free to join or whatever. You're like, seriously? I was like, yeah, and that was it. Like a year and a half later now, right?
Yeah, we're still doing it.
Oh, absolutely, every day. We were talking backstage, green room. I was talking to him about all the ones that I've just finished editing and which ones I have left, and already working on a new list.
Yeah.
Somebody gets a little eager about that stuff.
Yeah, I like to do concerts.
Making lists before I've even recorded from the last list.
And we take requests.
Yeah. Request.
Within reason.
We do have the right to turn down something inappropriate or just outright impossible. Like, don't expect me to match the lyrics on Rap God or some shit like that.
And Bloodhound Gang. You and me, baby. Ain't nothing but mammals.
The version of Godzilla that we just recently did is about the only version we're gonna do. I have no intention on doing the Eminem version. But speaking of Eminem, leads me into our category because of his popular, wonderful song "Superman."
We should do that one.
That'd be a fun one. I love that song. It's slow enough that we can do it without fucking up Eminem. He doesn't have that super fast rapping. Either way. So what superhero, what was the first one that grabbed you into the world of superheroes as a kid? Like, what was the first one that you're just like, whoa?
I would like Superman. And I know it's like a
cliche
nonsense story, but like back in the day, like when the Superman movies first came out, he used to be on the peanut butter, on the peanut butter cover. So my mom would make me peanut butter cookies, but I would think they would Superman cookies. So
nice.
Yeah.
For me, it was Spider-Man. It was actually, yeah, it was Spider-Man cartoons. Like seeing the cartoons on Saturday mornings, like they'd come on when Ninja Turtles and stuff was coming on. I was all into Ninja Turtles, so I just kept watching the cartoons, and that back in our
childhood, there really wasn't. There was no DVR or streaming services. There was no choosing your own episode and season. You watched whatever the fuck came on. You watched it when it came on. You watched it with the ads, the commercials, as we call them. And
And
that
if you
was it.
missed it, you might be lucky to
You're
catch it
SOL.
again. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless your family had one of those recording VHS players.
No.
Not the ones that were fancy where you can, program it for a time. The one where you have to be there and physically hit record, which renders it pointless. Like, if you're there to watch it, why do you need to record it? I guess if you're about
Yeah.
to leave or something. Either way, the ability to rewatch it, who knows? But, you get a bunch of episodes. It's like a homemade mixtape, like a TV mixtape. Anyways, sorry. Yeah, I got into the Spider-Man cartoons, but then the Batman movies really drew me into Batman as far as like DC.
It was just mostly Superman for me. But then as I when I got into as a teenager, my uncle and my grandpa were all in the comics, so I tried getting into reading comics like Spawn and Lobo, but that didn't last very long.
See, I never got into the comics. Like, for me, it's like you can read a comic book in 10 minutes, whatever, and maybe a little longer depending on whatever. But it doesn't take that long. It's not like reading a novel. It's not going to take you 30 minutes to read, the one story that you could watch a show and get more detail because they're dragging it out, trying to make it longer to fill that full 30 minutes. And I'm more visual. I get to hear it, auditory, see it, hear it, all that. I don't know. I was always more drawn in by the movies, the TV, that kind of stuff.
Who's your
Never
favorite
actually
Batman?
read. That's a tough question. If we're talking just like family friendly Batman, Michael Keaton, obviously. If we're talking like Dark Knight, Christian Bale. Definitely Christian Bale over Pattinson.
I didn't even go old school and go with Adam West. Bang, pow, bang.
I do. You know what? I love the old cheesy references and the clips and stuff that I've seen, but I don't think I could legit sit and watch that like from back then. Biff, like the fuck Biff. Like, they had some whammo, I've never heard somebody get hit and the sound go whammo. Right?
Yeah. But yeah, my favorite Batman was probably Michael Keaton.
It's the eyebrows. The big eyes looking at you through the Batman. But yeah, no. I think they all had qualities that made them good in their own. Like with Michael Keaton, he's Batman. He's like the original non-cheat. He's the original like first cinematic like blockbuster Batman. And that was like with the cast, Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer, like Catwoman. You
Nicholson.
had some, huh? Yeah, Nicholson. You had a good cast. Like, it was supporting, good actors around him playing the villains, giving him the challenge, like to play off of. Good family friendly, whatever. Everybody enjoys it. Val Kilmer definitely played that brooding, like in his own head, kind of stuff. Like, he played that part of it, the role, well. George Clooney definitely played the like playboy, retired, whatever role. I think Ben Affleck was good for the team movies, like the movies as a team. You know, I wouldn't want to watch him as Batman in a standalone. But as far as like being that Bruce Wayne character that brings them all together with the grays in his hair, like that's believable. He's not terrible for that. You know what I'm saying? Like they each have their own qualities, but Michael Keaton.
Yeah. I think after George Clooney, I like tapped out on the Batman movies.
Well, see, I like the way they took it with Christian Bale because that was more of a prequel and it was very dark, which the original Batman comics were pretty damn dark. You know what DC stands for, right?
Mm.
Detective Comics.
Mm.
The original comic books, the original Batman, he was a private eye detective. Like he wasn't Batman. He just kind of like the character became Batman. But apparently the original comics were like him solving mysteries and stuff, like crimes. Right? Interesting. Who's your Superman? Can't say no.
Probably Christopher Reeve. But he
Yeah,
used to
see, I
freak me
never
the
really
fuck.
watched any with him.
But freaked me the fuck out because once he like fell off that horse, whatever, I'm like, fuck, I want to ride no horses if Superman can get hurt off horses. So I'm like, fuck.
That's what a lot of
No.
people were. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think I like the dude they have now, the Henry Cavill, however you say his name. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty good Superman. He's been consistent in all the movies he's done. Like, even with different Batmans, he's managed to. No, it's all been. No, because his standalone movies didn't have Bruce Wayne, right? Did they? I
I'm
don't
not
know. The
sure.
Man of Steel, like Man of Steel, the original, whatever, the first one he was in, regardless.
No, I don't. No, I don't think he was in. I'm not sure.
So I know like majority of people have a pretty clear answer on this, and it's fairly one-sided. But what do you think's better, Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
That's what most people say. Yeah, I agree. I think DC gets a little more in depth with the backstories and the history of their characters and ties a lot more of that personal backstory to their characters. Whereas Marvel's all about the villain's backstory, how they became the villain, and then the hero saving the world from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you get a little bit of backstory. Like, you don't get a ton of backstory on the Joker until he gets his own movie.
Yeah.
But you've heard Batman, Bruce Wayne's backstory every fucking movie.
That's a good debate too. Who's the best Joker?
They give you more. I mean, again, the classic Jack Nicholson, but damn, Heath Ledger.
That shit was crazy.
He committed to that role. So
Yeah.
like he made me believe that was the Joker, not just Heath Ledger playing a character. Like he played that part so well. Drove him crazy. That's why he killed himself.
Yeah.
The mental place he had to put himself in to play that character because he enveloped himself so in. Damn, shit's crazy, man.
I thought Joaquin Phoenix did good, dude.
Yeah, he did pretty good, but like, those are some hard shoes to fill right there after that performance. Like, damn, he was good. Either way, best Marvel superhero.
What's Deadpool?
I'd count him.
I'd go Deadpool.
I'd say he's comic relief, if anything. Like, he's funny as hell, but I mean, technically, he's an anti-hero. is what they call them. Like, they're not the typical hero mold, but they do the right thing. They just go about it the non-heroic way, like killing people instead of beating them up, putting them in jail.
I'd go with the Hulk then.
The Hulk, yeah. See, I've always been more torn towards the X-Men versus the Avengers types. Like, I guess I favor Spider-Man if I have to go with one of them, just because I've always liked him in the story. It just seems cool being able to like cling to walls and swing and shit. Like, cool as fuck. But I was always more into X-Men, and again, probably because the X-Men cartoon I used to watch every week that came on. But I think it was just all the different mutants. Like, each one of them had a different power, and it wasn't just like one person that was super strong and, you know, came from another planet and did this and this and this. Like, yeah, one dude could turn to steel. One dude was a fucking beast, you know. One could shoot lasers out of his glasses, his eyes, whatever. I mean, it's cool. They all have.
Wasn't then Storm control the weather?
Yeah. Storm controlled the weather, and then Jean Grey was like Professor X with the psychic abilities. Freeze guy, Pyro, Magneto. I mean, it's just it was like everybody had their unique power that helped them come together as a team to defeat the villains. You know, it wasn't just like Wolverine was the only one that managed to get a standalone movie and be successful, unless you count Deadpool. Like, there was no Magneto movie, there was no Professor Xavier movie, there was no Jean Grey movie. Like, all of them needed each other except him, but he was always the loner. You know, he didn't really stick with the class and all that. He kind of did his own thing. He had a lot of good backstory, though. See, it's kind of like DC with the backstory. I'm getting off on my own here.
And there's only one Wolverine. There wasn't like 20 Hulks and 20 Supermans and.
To be fair, there was only one Iron Man too.
Yeah, true.
And there's only been one Captain America. However, he did used to be Johnny Storm in the Human Torch, Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But hey, Deadpool has been the version of himself that looked like fucking Braca from Mortal Kombat, with the swords coming out and the bald head, mouth sewn shut, like from that movie. Like, he got to be that Wade Wilson, and then he was like Deadpool Wade Wilson, who never shuts up. Which, similar character, just totally different mutation round. And yeah, he's been the only Wolverine. I mean, Patrick Stewart was the only X until they went to, you know, the newer, younger generation timeline where it's like younger versions of all of them, which is smart because now they can just continue to grow into those roles and you never have to worry about them being too old and falling out. And then there's Hugh Jackman, who's just like fucking, I don't know, man. How does he do it? Dude's like in his late 50s, right? In his mid 50s.
Because all he does is eat eggs.
Yeah. He eats like a specific diet, like works out a specific regiment. Like, yeah, you know, he's got personal trainers, like a team. We'll see. So, okay. If you could have one, the obvious cliche question, if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
Like, be able to predict the future. Like, be able to know what's gonna happen ahead of time. So if I knew like tomorrow I was gonna have a shitty day, I'd be like, nah,
Well, if you kind of knew what was coming, you could avoid all the shitty things.
that's true.
But let me ask you this: to that superpower, how far ahead would you want to be able to see?
Like a day.
Just like a day?
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I want to be able to see too far to where it's like I'd see to my own death or somebody else's or something that I didn't want to see.
Like the click
But
remote.
well, that yeah. But I was thinking like at least a week. I think a week would be good because then I'd have enough time to know the winning lottery numbers every week, or at least like a couple weeks spread out. You know, win some of the smaller amounts first, and then like, or maybe just hit the Powerball, like randomly lucky, be that guy that just so happens to go to that one gas station or grocery store and buy that one random ticket that they never buy, and then it
Well, you
just
can pay the extra money and do your own numbers.
true. I mean, well, I mean, you could pick your numbers, but I'm saying like I would need to know what they were ahead of time so that I could pick them.
True.
Like I would know what the draw. Well, I mean, I guess with the day ahead, you could do it every Friday. Go buy your lottery tickets for Saturday, or just buy them on Saturday during the day because you already know what they're going to draw that night. For me, I would want the power to transport, like in the X-Men. I could Nightcrawler, the dude with the tail, the blue dude. Like I, I think that power is very cool, being able to just like poof and be somewhere else. But I always kind of liked that, like when I watched it. But what really got me like hooked on that superpower was the movie Jumper. You remember that?
Yeah, I heard about it.
You heard about it or you saw it?
No, I
Came
heard
out
about
like
it. I know.
2006.
I knew about it, but I
Man,
never watched it.
I fucking love that movie. See, this was like it came out back when I was living with my buddy in our early 20s and we had HBO, but it was like before all the on-demand shit, and streaming services and all that. And it was when you had like HBO East, HBO West, HBO 2, HBO 2 West, like Signature, Extreme, all the different whatever. But it was just like you were just whatever came on is what you watched. So like they would have the same movies that were featured play over and over. Like every day it would be on a different one of those HBOs. And I saw that movie a bunch of times and I just really liked it. And how he's just able to a different place whenever, wherever.
It still
He's
does that
just
now, where you can watch, like you said, Jumper on one channel, and once it was over, you can find it on
oh
one of the
yeah.
other HBOs.
Yeah, but you had HBO Max. Why you even go to the live TV anymore?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you that. The only time, listen, you probably already know the answer to this, but the only time that I watch live TV is
Football.
professional sports, football, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like occasionally a baseball game, occasionally a hockey game or something. Olympics, I watch those. But yeah, football. Football is the only thing that I will religiously sit through ads for and power through them and actually watch them because I want to get to when the next drive or play. With exception to 7 hours of commercial free football.
They don't have that anymore.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
I thought they said they're going to do commercials this year.
Oh God, no.
That's what I heard.
No. I know that somebody had bought it. ESPN bought it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they were there was articles about how what that could mean, that it could lead to ads, but I don't know if it's actually gonna be. I hope not, man. I'm gonna be pissed if they throw ads in there. Like, it's okay if it's one of those things where it's like off to the side and you're still seeing the screen and I can just ignore that and watch the picture in picture. But you go cutting away from the feed, fuck that shit.
I
You
don't
just
know
go
though. I
to
get kind of pissed with the. Oh, this
I get
commercial is brought to
Sunday
you
Ticket.
by Home Depot.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I can tune that out. This game's disappointing. I have it on. Shit. Why do superheroes remain popular across generations? I don't know, because they give people hope, right? Pretty simple.
Yeah,
So, do you prefer the classic hero or the anti-hero, like Jessica Jones and Deadpool and them?
yeah.
I like them.
I like the
They're more
anti-hero.
they're more relatable, right?
Yeah,
Like, I really like the show The Boys. The one about like Homelander and all those other the dark side of the superheroes. You never watched that show? It was on
I've heard
Amazon
about it.
Prime. It's a really good show. Like, I haven't gotten into all the spin-off Generation V and all that stuff, but like the original seasons of that show, like, it's really good, man. It's like if superheroes really existed in this world, how they would be like super conceited and cocky and overpaid by sponsors and doing public events and stuff like that, and then like behind the scenes are just like the darkest, worst people imaginable. And yeah, it's crazy. Like, the corporations like set up events and supervillains to attack so that they can have the publicity and stuff. Like, yeah, it's crazy. It's a good show. Very dark, but either way, they're almost like villains in that show. So, what would you say the downsides to some of the most typical, you know, superpowers like flight? Don't you think you'd get cold at a certain altitude? Like, you'd have to fly through the rain and snow and shit.
That
Like,
that would suck.
yeah, I mean, like, what do you wear, a poncho before you go flying, or are you just grounded? Like, well, it's fucking storming, got a hurricane coming to Florida, so I guess I'll be driving this weekend.
Is
You
that Superman up there? I don't know. I can't tell. He's wearing a poncho.
know? I think that's the weather guy just got sucked up into the downspout. His microphone in his hand. Holy shit! It's Mike. No, what's his name? Jim Cantori, the Weather Channel guy. Everybody knows him. I Same thing with like mind reading. Like, imagine going to a football game. You're in a fucking stadium with tens of thousands of people all just like surrounding you, and you can read minds. Like, that's got to be horrible, because you can't just put in earplugs and like plug your mind.
Oh, like what was it? Bruce Almighty.
Oh yeah, when he hears all the prayers and shit. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'll just come flooding in. But I mean, it also, brings about the same super speed. You have like the Flash. You have the constant calorie burn. He's just constantly having to eat and all that shit. Like, I don't know that that's really a downfall, but if you ever watch the show or just like comics, whatever, like even alcohol, like his body metabolizes it so fast that like he can't get drunk really. So if that were the same case with like getting stoned, I'd be like, nah, you can run fast. I'll just teleport and meet you there.
It'd be like, fuck, I really got the munchies, but you know what that means? I gotta run for an extra hour tomorrow.
I'll be like, I'm gonna go get you the munchies. Poof, poof. Pop into like some Taco Bell or some shit like that, like behind the counter, just grab a bunch of stuff off the thing that's ready, and then poof, right back out of there.
You don't have to worry about getting show for stealing because you can run faster than the cops.
Oh, I ain't even talking about the speed. I'm talking about like teleporting.
No.
Just like poof, right in there. There's like, the tray where they wrap it and then slide it in before it gets bagged. Just grab a whole bunch of that shit and poof, right back out of there. I would have like a special costume that I wear for that shit, and I would never fall for like the stupid like trap stuff where it's like, oh, we're bringing a diamond. We sure hope he doesn't get this. Be like, the fuck am I gonna do with a diamond? I'll just, rob from the bad, and like find those rich assholes that like do the dark seedy shit and just like poof into their house, grab all their cash and poof out. Like, fuck them. Make that money off of those assholes. Like, what would you do with your superpower?
Oh no.
I mean, I guess if you could see a day in the future, you could go to Vegas and clean house because you'd be able to see what the cards are before they even draw.
That's true. I can go to Vegas and bet on all the games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Bookies would hate you. They'd see you walking and be like, "Oh fuck no, not this guy. Get you've been banned, sir. No more. You're banned. You're no longer welcome in this
The
establishment."
joke's on you. I already know you're gonna tell me that.
Exactly. That's why you got like 20 FanDuel accounts with like each one with a different Gmail you've created. And just keep winning. That would be cool though. Like, that would be a good way to. Oh well, Travis Kelce just made a touchdown.
Was it a pass? Or did he run it? Was he in the backfield and ran?
I'm assuming he caught it. Yeah, it was like a 36-yard play, 37-yard touchdown. He was like wide open. Anyways, yeah, live sports coverage for you right here. Cam Newton, Superman. Yeah, where you at? Coaching? Little League?
Yeah. ESPN first take at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning.
All right. So yeah. So here's one of the interesting questions, in my opinion. Do all heroes need an origin story, or can mystery make them stronger? Like, not
Mystery?
knowing about not knowing about their back. See, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, with mystery, like, you're more intrigued because you don't know what's
You want to
happening.
figure it out. Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to figure it out. Like the original like movies with Wolverine, the original X-Men movies that came out. Like you learned all that stuff as you went along, but like Xavier was just giving him little flashes of his history, like go to this place, Alkali Lake, whatever. Like, I'm not talking about when he got his standalone movie. I'm talking about the original X-Men movies where he was trying to piece together bits and pieces because his memory was gone. Like that's cool. I like that. You're figuring out the hero's backstory as they're figuring it out. I like that. Sometimes you're figuring it out before them. You know? All right, let's see. What's next? So, are there any villains whose origin stories are more interesting than the heroes?
For me, it'd be the Joker.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because I'm sitting here trying to think of one. It's a great example. I don't know that I really have a better one. Although, what was wasn't there one of the Spider-Man villains that was like doing it for their kid or something like that?
The
And
Green
Spider-Man
Goblin.
helped them. No, like Jamie Foxx's villain or something like that, maybe. I don't know. Obviously
I
not
don't remember.
memorable enough. Honestly, I find I hate that they killed him off already, but like I was all excited about the Kang the Conqueror like Marvel twist with all of that. Like Jonathan Majors played Kang. Like I was excited to learn more about that from watching the Loki. Like, but then they just kind of killed him off and made Victor Von Doom the new big bad.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything about that dude. That'll get in trouble.
Who? Jonathan Majors?
Yeah.
What did he do? See, I'm so
Didn't
out
he?
of it. I don't even
Didn't
know.
he beat the crap out of somebody? His girlfriend.
Oh, did he really? Oh,
I
oh.
think they
See,
busted him in an elevator doing it or something. I don't know.
Ray Rice. Isn't
Huh?
that Ray Rice?
Oh, that too. And P Diddy and
Yeah. See, for me, it's always the elevator, right? No. Love it in an elevator. No, I'm just kidding. See, this is what really bugs me here. Like, what really drives me nuts is the when actors ruin movies with their personal lives. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I really enjoyed, certain movies with certain actors and stuff. Like, I loved the whole fucking political show with Kevin Spacey. It's on Netflix.
Oh,
House of Cards. House of Cards.
yeah.
I fucking loved that show. I loved his character. I loved everything about it. Why should I have to hate him in that show just because of what he did in his personal life? I love the character. I love the show. I don't give a fuck about Kevin Spacey. I don't give a fuck about, any of these other actors, Tom Cruise, how crazy he is in his personal. I don't fucking care. He's Maverick, man. He's fucking Maverick. He can be as crazy as he wants. Mel Gibson, he can be as crazy as he wants. That's fucking Lethal Weapon, fucking Braveheart. Like when you're in movies and you know own a role like that, it's hard to just like not like that person anymore. Just like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're a piece of shit in your normal life, but a lot of people are. I can still appreciate, the story you told and the art that you made. Why ruin it for everybody else in the movie?
Yeah.
All of a sudden you hear some story about fucking Chris Evans beating his wife or some shit like that, and now Captain America is just like tainted, and like you can't even go back and watch all the original Avengers movies now or all the Captain America movies leading up to it.
And we're not
Can you?
remaking it again either.
Yeah, that's a lot to remake, man. That makes me wonder, how much do you think Disney pays every year to cover up shit from all these big time, like Chris Hemsworth, Tony, like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, like the ones that are irreplaceable, the ones that like have been in so many of your movies already, that for them to taint that much of the franchise would just like be a major swift kick in the balls. Like, how much do you think Disney spends on like hush money every year?
A lot.
See, that's what's great about the Star Wars shit. They bring these like no name people up, you know? Name one Star Wars person that you knew who they were before they were in Star Wars, other than Sam Jackson or Liam
No, that's
Neeson.
it. James Earl Jones, but I didn't know
But
that was
yeah,
Darth.
yeah, you saw Coming to America, didn't realize that that was the same dude, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you always see Darth Vader as a skinny, normal guy, and you hear his voice, and then you see him as this big dude, and you're like, wait, what? Darth Vader let himself go. It's like, no, he was just a voice. There's a totally different dude inside that helmet.
Oh yeah, because when he takes off his mask, I'm like, yeah, who the fuck? He ain't Darth Vader.
Yeah, right? That bald, pasty, like scarred up face. Yeah. But, you know, I don't know, would you consider the Jedi's to be superheroes?
Yeah,
I mean, they are, right? In their own galaxy.
but I
And the
tapped
Sith
out
are the
like after the
ones.
first 6 movies. I'm like, that's good enough for me.
Oh, you didn't even watch the last three?
No,
Really? What
no,
about any of the other stuff?
no.
I gotta give props like big time to the animated series Clone Wars. I actually watched that and learned so much because by being able to do, animated, they're able to tell so much more story, and you get to see all these other planets and learn about the history like of those planets. Like I knew all about Mandalore before the Mandalorian came out, you know, because I had watched all that during the Clone Wars. It was all about the different galaxies and trying to keep the peace with the, what the fuck, not the, uh, I'm totally drawing a blank on what they're called now. There was like the normal, you know,
Stormtroopers.
no, before they were the Rebel Alliance and all that, the Empire. Before they were that, what do they call them? The Separatists and
Oh
the
yeah,
Republic. The Republic and the Separatists, whatever. Yeah, like all the shit that happened between little dude sitting in the fucking speeder to Hayden Christensen backing on what's her face, Rachel McAdams, in that second movie where he's like a late teenager already. Like there's a bunch of shit that happens in between that and like the actual Clone War movie where everything goes down and he gets stricken down and becomes Vader. Like there's so much. They explain the background of the Force and the Sith, and like it's crazy, man. It's actually really good if you're interested. If you get into the Star Wars and the backstory and stuff, it's actually very good. Teaches you a lot about this shit if you want to learn. Look at me rambling. You gotta cut me off or I'll just keep talking, bro.
Well, no, you're good. I'm a good listener.
All right, so all these reboots, are any of them good, or are they all just like leave it the fuck alone and come up with your own new shit?
Yeah, I'm more of a like we don't have to keep redoing shit. Like we got it the first time.
And you know, some of them it's not bad to redo, but like, how many times? How many Batmans? How many Batmans are we gonna have to sit through? How many Batmans do we have to sit through the same 30 to 40 minutes of backstory of how he became Batman?
I gave up after Clooney.
Yeah. And see, like I said, I like Christian Bale for what it was. It told a much deeper story about the origin, not just he fell down a well, some bats came out, and then the next scene he's fucking in a leather suit, rubber suit, like fighting crime, you know? They tell the whole story, how he goes away, he trains with like the, you know, whatever. It's good. It's good. It shows how he became superhuman for not really being superhuman. I think that's
It's
kind
like
of what's all
Superman.
about.
I think they did like 4 of those.
Oh yeah, but none of them were as successful as the Batman movies, so people don't really remember that there was a bunch of people between Christopher Reeves and Henry Cavill. Like I couldn't tell you a single name of one of them, one of the actors. I couldn't name one of the actors that played a Superman between the two of them.
No.
I know there were some, but I couldn't tell you who they were. There weren't a lot of them. There was only like one movie before he came in, right?
Yeah.
And that one clearly flopped. Either way, I thought he was good. But yeah, like Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale,
Kristen.
Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson. Come on. There's more Batmans than villains.
Yeah.
You got the Joker, Riddler, Poison Ivy, Bane,
Two-Face.
Penguin, Two-Face,
Did you already say
Scarecrow.
the Riddler?
Yeah, I did.
Catwoman?
She's not really a villain though. She's just like the anti-hero. You know, the Deadpool. She'll help you, but she's really in it for herself.
Yeah, because yeah, you're right. Because Michelle Pfeiffer
She's a
just like
thief.
seduces him.
She's a thief.
Yeah.
That's all she does. She's just a thief.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like they just keep trying. It's like we'll get the right one where everybody's like, yeah, don't change him. Like they keep changing the channel, trying to watch the same show, but like redoing it over and over again. Like, people like
That-
Batman. Quit changing it.
They did like 4 different Catwomen.
Halle Berry and Michelle Pfeiffer. Those are the only two I can think of.
Well, there's the old lady from the original Batman. So I guess only 3.
Oh, from like Adam West,
Yeah,
Batman.
the Kung
Oh,
Pao, Bam.
bro, any of the characters redone from that series, you're talking like that was the 60s, and the very
Yeah,
first Batman movie with Michael Keaton was in the 80s.
yeah, 89.
So yeah, bit of a bit of a time strain. I can't really see Adam West jumping around on screen in Batman and Batman Returns, you know. Do you?
No,
I'd like to see him going against Heath Ledger Joker.
no. Heath Ledger would tear him up.
Oh yeah. Holy geez, Batman. Robin the Boy Wonder. Now, have you watched Titans?
No.
It's like the darker version, the adult real life like non-animated version of Teen Titans.
Oh no.
It came on it was like back when DC had its own little streaming service for like a year. It was coming on there, but it was coming on HBO whatever. So I was watching it like on the HBO whatever. It was really good, man. Did you ever watch Teen Titans,
My kids
the
did.
cartoon? Yeah, so I mean, like, I don't mean like religiously, but you've seen it enough to
Yeah.
know the characters like Beast Boy and Cyborg and all that. Like, it's all of them, you know. In the show, there's like Raven and the Corey and Beast Boy and whatever, but they're all like real life humans. Pretty interesting. I liked it.
And it's called Titans.
Titans. Yep.
Uh,
Just like Teen Titans, but drop the teen because they're adults now. I'm pretty sure they're all on HBO now. But they have like the Slade Wilson and as a bad guy, they have um like Dick Grayson, like as he leaves and is no longer with. This is like after he's left Batman, he's on his own before he turns into Nightwing, and Robin is now Jason Todd is the new Robin. Like he's been replaced,
and it's a
and of
cartoon.
course, no, no, they're real life people.
Okay.
In fact, Batman's not like a main character. This is all set like as Batman's kind of retired. He's older. So the dude that plays Bruce Wayne in that series is the dude from Game of Thrones, Sir Jaren, the one that ended up with like the grayscale thing and then ended up getting it cured, whatever. That was always yeah. He was he was the Bruce Wayne in that series. But he only came in like 3 or 4 episodes for cameos. But yeah, it's a pretty good series. See, I find myself more drawn to characters like Batman and Arrow because they don't have superpowers. I mean, they're billionaires, which kind of sucks, but like they're
They're
crime
just normal
fighters.
like you and me.
Yeah, they hang with the big dogs, but like they got no superpowers. They got no super soldier serum like Captain America and Winter Soldier and all those dudes. They don't have thunder running, lightning running through their veins because they're god from another planet. They don't have radioactive spider bites that have them slinging webs and climbing walls and shit with super strength and quick rehealing. They don't have super speed. They're fighting these metahumans that have like these powers and abilities, and they're doing it with intelligence and agility, basically. Kind of like Hawkeye, the Avengers. Just like Green Arrow is the DC version of Hawkeye. He just does his own thing instead of being like the photo op dude. Like, I don't need superpowers. You know, the ones that like they never take on the big roles, but they're the ones like, all right, Hawkeye, Black Widow, get all these people to safety. We're gonna go fight the big guy. You fight all these goons and get these people to safety. We're gonna go take out the superpower monster guy. You know, you don't see Hawkeye running up, you know, trying to take on Loki by himself. You know, that ain't gonna work. He's not trying to take on. He's not running in, taking on Thanos like all in. Let's do it. You know, he's gonna get his ass whooped. You know, shoot as many fucking arrows as you want. Dude's gonna snap you. You know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I just overthink shit. Oh, all right. Let's see. One more. Yeah. Would you rather be invincible or invisible?
I don't know. Invincible?
Yeah, I think I'd go with. I don't know. I mean, like, are you invisible all the time? That would be
Yeah,
my question.
probably.
Because if I had to be invisible all the time, I'd go with invincible. I'd be an NFL player. But if you know, if I could turn it on and off, I'd probably go with invisible.
I'd still stick with because you can just sit there and punch at me all day and get tired, and I just have to swat you.
Yeah, but I mean that benefits you for like fighting and stuff like that. But
That's true.
invisibility, man, that can get you anywhere. Like sneak me in behind backstage at a concert, you know, be hanging out with fucking rock stars backstage, sneaking into like early screenings of movies and not paying $20, you know, just for a ticket. Doing all that shit, you know. Hopping on a private plane, just kind of like sitting wherever nobody else is for a free ride to wherever in a nice luxury, just shit like that. I don't know.
Just chill up front with the pilots.
Sneak through my house without having 20 kids asking me a question or to get them a drink or something like that. I
No,
feel
I'm
like
not
that would.
making dinner. You can't see me.
See, I feel like my kids would be like, Dad, I know you're there. I can smell your feet or some shit like that. I don't know. Like I heard you fart, you know, something like that. They're so like just blatantly rude. Like my house slippers, all right, I wear them like every day. And one day, you know, my wife washes them, but there was one day that they kind of like needed to be washed. I'd worn them for a couple days and they needed to be washed. And I was laying in my daughter's bed with her, like she was going to bed. She's 5, and I'm laying there, like telling her good night, watching her a little show with her, rubbing her back, you know, all the normal stuff she wants. And as we're sitting there, she's just like watching her little show, and she kind of looks over. She goes, "Did you fart?" I'm like, "No," and she's like, "Smells like you did," and I'm like, no. And then she like sits up in her bed and starts like looking around the room, and then she like gets like hones in on my slippers and then like leans forward. She goes, "It's your slippers. They stink. They smell like fart." I'm like, "Thanks, baby."
The whole
Okay.
my kids ask me, they love to wait till I'm fucking watching football to fucking bombard me with 20 questions. I'm like, you couldn't fucking ask me earlier. You got ask me right now.
That's like my wife. She waits until I sit down and get comfortable, and then it's like, will you give me something? Will you give me something to eat? Will you give me a drink? Will you give me some like water? Like I just you watched me walk in and out of the bedroom. You watched me like move stuff around. Like I damn near did jumping jacks and cartwheels. Like I moved all over like pretty much every inch of the damn house. And you wait until the moment I sit down, not just like right when I sit down, like 2 or 3 minutes after I sit down, like where you've gotten into that comfortable, like you've established yourself in that chair. And then it's like, hey, will you please go get me? And then if I'm like, seriously, I just got comfortable. Fine, I'll get it. You don't love me. And then I got to deal with like a brat for the rest of the
I'm usually an asshole and be like, before I sit down,
night. Oh,
before
I
I
do
get
that.
comfortable.
Oh, yeah. Like I'm such a smart ass about it. And it's not like she's a bitch about it. She just like is bratty. Like, like she'll make little comments like, oh, well, you already showed me you don't love me because you didn't get me water. Like, seriously, get out of here with that shit. You know? But yeah, the oh god, she kills me with that shit. Like I'll lay down in the bed and then she'll be like, hey, did you make sure the door was locked? The front door, is it all locked up? Like I was just standing up. I was just out in the kitchen getting you water. Why did you wait until I laid down to ask me some shit like that? Like I check myself, but uh, she's bad about that shit. But um, what I do to get her back, she's like super OCD. So if like you leave a drawer not closed all the way, it'll drive her nuts. So I'll be like, she'll know that I was just out there making food or whatever, and she'll make me go do whatever, and I'll be all frustrated. I'll come back, I'll give it to her, I'll lay down in the bed, I'll get comfortable, and be like, I can't remember if I closed that drawer all the way or not. And then she'll be like, we'll go close it. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I did. And then she'll be like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious right now? I'll be like, I'm just messing with you. I did close it. And she's like, I don't believe you. And she would get up out of the bed and go check. And even if I did close it, I don't even have to leave it open. I could just make that comment in the bed. And it's like, why would you even say that? Why would you wait until I got comfortable after I asked you 4 times if you needed anything while I was standing up?
Usually when she asks for something and then I like it's for a drink. Can you give me a pop? I'll get a pop. Be like, must be nice. I wish I had someone to give me a pop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's always quick to tell me that I get spoiled or babied when I'm sick. So I was sick as a dog all week. Explain to me why I made my own fucking food and her food 2 nights out of that 3 night sickness. I made my own food all 3 nights, but one of those nights I ended up making her food too.
But you don't love her because you didn't get her a glass of water.
Oh, I did before we went live. She asked me to come in there and get her water before, and then my daughter and all that stuff. But it's bedtime for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys back here next Friday night, same time, different topic.
Same bat channel.
Yep. Same bat signal. Holy goodbye.